Now, a British firm is under fire after reportedly selling reindeer shooting holidays in Norway. The company in question has said it was pleased to be able to offer these exclusive hunts for members of the public.
Are you tempted? Meanwhile, animal activists have dubbed this move sick. They say it's beyond appalling, suggesting it ruins the spirit of Christmas. And I suppose they do have a point this time of the year where reindeer, we epitomise them, we visualise them pulling Santa's sleigh, and now we're asking people to go and kill them for amusement. So should we allow trophy hunting, or should it be a thing of the past?
Well, to debate this now, we're joined by the host of the Field Sports YouTube channel, Charlie Jacoby, and campaigner at PETA, Molly Elsdon. Very good to see you both this
morning. Charlie, I hope I've painted a seasonal enough picture there of Rudolph and his red nose and everything else. It's a bit of bad timing on this, isn't it?
Well, I think it's quite careful timing, but the thing about reindeer is they're a wild population. They live in Norway. They are managed, even though they're a wild population.
Is this part of the managing, these shooting holidays?
And shooting holidays is part of the management because it brings a great deal of cash into rural areas that might not otherwise see it. So, you know, we work with a group of people called the Svanøy Red Deer Foundation in Norway, and they are funded by hunting.
But you see, Charlie, here's where I have a problem, big problem. What joy would I get out of putting a bullet through the head of an animal, something that lives? I mean, if you set me out targets in the woods and things, I'd enjoy it, have a very good time. I'd love to go with you. I'm very good with firearms, very good shot. But targets rather than animals.
Yeah, I think it's a very complicated question to answer. The thrill of the hunt, the thing you get out of it. The best thing to do is to tell you that, I mean, hunting in this country, deer hunting, is incredibly accessible. It's easier to go deer hunting from a standing start in a city than it is to get a game of golf or a game of tennis. It's easier, quicker and cheaper. So if just look up your local deer guide and go and try it, and I think then you'll find out what it is.
That must send a shiver down your spine to hear that.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, killing any animal for fun is appalling to think about, let alone reindeer, who are these gentle, sensitive animals who live in large family groups. So it's appalling to think of killing them for fun. And a lot of animals killed by hunters endure prolonged and painful deaths. And for what? You know, for a thrill and a souvenir to mount on the wall, it's absolutely disgusting. So I'd encourage everyone watching, of course, to never get involved with any activity that involves harming animals. And of course, the government has a part to play as well by implementing a ban to prevent importing hunting trophies into the UK, to prevent hunters from going abroad and killing these magnificent and beautiful animals.
And what would you say to Charlie's point that these shooting holidays are part of controlling the wild population in Norway?
Yeah, well, not only is shooting animals incredibly cruel, but we also know that it's very inefficient in resolving any human-perceived conflict with these animals. As long as an area remains attractive and accessible, then these animals are going to continue to breed, which just creates this perpetual killing cycle where issues of population aren't really solved. So the best thing that we can do is leave these animals to be. Most of these problems come because of us interfering with nature, and just allow them to live their lives as they want to.
Perpetual killing cycle.
Yeah, I'm delighted Molly knows why I go hunting when I don't, but I know I don't agree with that. I think one of the things you get when you go hunting is you kind of get to take part in nature, and nature is something where animals don't die in their bed surrounded by their grandchildren. You know, the trees you see from your railway carriage are not put there for your benefit by the railway companies. They're generally there for hunting and shooting. That's how we manage the countryside.
Charlie, what is a reindeer? I'm just looking at a picture, just on some film there of reindeers in the wild there again, and they look. Part of them look like a cow. And maybe part of them look like a horse. What exactly is the creature?
This is an amazingly successful deer. It's pretty well all the way around the subarctic. In North America, they're called caribou. Over here, they're called reindeer. In Sweden, they're all domestic. In Norway, which is what we're talking about, some are domestic, some are wild, and it's the wild ones that are available for hunting. Yeah, like deer in this country, you know, we are extremely hypocritical about our views of British people going abroad and hunting, whereas in this country, you know, we have a kill order on tens of thousands of deer from the government, from the conservation industry at the moment. And you have to remember, in this country, 20,000 stags' heads are handed to grateful tourists every year who've been taken out by professional deer managers to shoot those animals.
What would you say, Molly, to one of those grateful tourists? I mean, here we are to get a present for Christmas, to be given an animal's head as a present to mount on your wall. What would you appeal to people who would want something like that for Christmas?
Well, I mean, it's just really heartbreaking to think, you know, we live in 2023. There's so many things that we can do for entertainment. There's so many decorations we can get for our houses. We don't need to be killing animals for fun or for decorations. They are individuals. The way we have cats and dogs at home, they have their personalities. They feel pain and they feel fear, but they also feel joy and they feel happiness. We shouldn't be killing them for any reason at all, and we should leave them alone.
Molly, in an hour's time on the programme, we're going to be talking about XL bully dogs, and there's a situation where in Manchester a number of them have been brought into a compound, and if they're not found homes by January, they will be put down. A dilemma here. You're dealing with an animal, just the way you described there, but you also could be dealing with a dangerous or a fierce animal. What's your view?
Yeah, I mean, it's of course really upsetting for these animals that are left in shelters. So I'd appeal to anyone that's out there and can offer a home to a dog to take one in. And, you know, Christmas is time as well. Many people are buying puppies, unfortunately, but if you can adopt a dog...
But what if these bully dogs frighten you?
Well, personally, they don't. You know, there's a lot to say about the people that, you know, look after them. And unfortunately, they do end up in the wrong hands because of the way they look, but that's only because we've perceived them to be that way and we put these traits on them. But really, you know, I believe all animals have kind souls.
Molly Elsdon from PETA, thank you very much indeed. Charlie Jacoby, very interesting to hear from you from the field sport point of view as well. Thank you both very much.